It's up on the screen.
Mm-hmm. One second.
What's happening, everybody? Guess I'm live. I didn't get no countdown today. We get a countdown? There it is. We're live. There's no countdown. It says live in 28, 29, 30. Well, I guess I'm live already.
Oh, wait. It's not live to the one. It's live on two of them, but not the third one.
Well, what's going on with that? Good morning. How are you? You got to hit go live. How's everybody? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Angela, good morning. Great morning. Sister Andrews. Janae, we live on all of them? Working out the kinks, everybody.
Yes.
What's that? Yes?
Yeah.
So we're live on all of them. All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Ralph Graves Jr. Show. Let me hit live on Instagram Live. Welcome, everybody, to the Ralph Graves Jr. Show. I'm so happy to have you guys here. You guys are awesome. You guys are amazing. Thank you for taking the time out to to check out this program. So, my name is Pastor Ralph Graves Jr. We're here every it's supposed to be every Wednesday, but due to some things that happened in my life that we're going to talk about today, we're here on Friday. Janae, I hear crazy feedback in your office. I don't know what that is. Hey, Instagram Live, what's going on? Thank you for checking in. Kim's hair salon joined. Thank you for checking in. Instagram, I apologize for your aesthetics and how you see it. All you see is a green screen, but we're working on bringing you something better in the days to come. But guys, good morning. I hope everyone's doing fine. My name is Ralph Graves Jr. Welcome to the show. The gang is all here. Good morning, Janae. I didn't hear you, but it's okay. Good morning. Good morning, Kair.
Good morning.
Guys, good to see you guys. Instagram Live, good morning. Today, guys, I just wanted to talk to you all and share with you all some stuff that has gone on in my life, and just want to talk about it. So, like I said, normally we're here on Wednesdays at 10 a.m., but we decided to come on today, Friday. Again, Instagram, forgive me for the green screen background, but we're working on that. I'm all over the place, coming to you from our studios here in Millville, New Jersey. My father died on Monday, actually 12 a.m., 12:03 a.m. on Tuesday. Very close to my father. My brother, who's on Instagram Live right now, Iron on My Mind. What's up, Todd? He's very close to our father as well. And part of my healing is talking about it. And so I just wanted to talk to y'all about it. So I'm going to share with you 5 things of one of the thousands and millions of things that my father did teach myself and my brother as he's watching on Instagram Live as well. So, hey, join in, have some comments and talk about it. But before we do that, Kair, how was your weekend? I always like to check in, see how Kair, how was I got you now. How was your weekend?
I think I had a mute. My weekend was good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Very good. Very good. Very good. And my daughter, Janae, my father was her grandfather, of course. How was your weekend up until Monday, hon?
Well, yeah, Monday doesn't count the weekend, so that's right. Okay. What did I do? I baked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I baked some spiced chocolate coffee cream eclairs.
Sure.
And they were really good. As everyone knows, I don't really use recipes. I just kind of go off of what I already know. Yeah. And I tried to make the ganache a different way because I didn't have any cream and I didn't feel like going to get any cream. So I thought I could just melt it over the stove, over a double boiler or a bain marie or whatever you want to call it. And it did not work. The chocolate just split, and it was annoying, but they were good. Like it tasted fine, but I got
very
technique all off.
Well, hey, listen, you went for it. Seth Silvers, what's going on, man? Joey Anderson, what's happening, man? Oh, I'm sorry, that's Joe Battle, man. What's going on? Yeah. So it was that kind of week for us. But that's why I wanted to talk today. I wanted to talk today about that. First of all, thank you for joining in. You can follow me on Twitter. You can follow me on Instagram Live, Facebook Live, as we get this thing together. Forgive me for being all over the place. I do want to say this to you on behalf of my family. Thank you for all of the texts and the condolences and the prayers. And if I haven't texted you back, if my brother hasn't gotten back to you, it's just so much, it's so overwhelming. If my mother hasn't got back to you, we just want to thank you publicly and openly on these platforms. And I just want to thank you for that. It's been a trying time. I haven't had time to slow down and really mourn. But we need to talk about that when it comes to healing as well. But I want to talk about 5 things that my father taught us out of the 1,000 things that he taught my brother and I. Now, number one, or the first thing that he taught me was this: to take risks. My father always taught Todd and I and those around him. If you met my father, you know he didn't mind taking risks. If you never met my father, but you know me, you probably met my father. I remember the example of taking a risk. I remember when I was a young preacher, and I was a candidate for a whole lot of churches pastoring. And if you know anything about me, you know I'm not traditional. I wouldn't have lasted 2 weeks pastoring a traditional church. It wasn't going to happen. They would have fired me because I'm cut from a different cloth. They would have fired me. Just, I'm about ministry. I'm not about pomp and circumstance. And so I told my dad, I said, hey, man, I'm going to start my own church. And I would tell other people, and other people would tell me how risky it was and that I shouldn't do it, this, that, and the other thing. But my father said, man, listen, if you're going to dance, I'm going to support you. If that's what you want to do, if you want to plant your church, you're going to do it right, and I'm going to support you the whole way. It was a major risk for me to do that 15 years ago. But if I did not have the support of a father, now, if something about a father that tells his son, hey, man, look, I'm down with you. If you're going to do that, then go ahead and do it. Let's do it right. I wouldn't be where I am today. So taking risks. And my daughter talked about it in her baking this weekend. She takes risks. She doesn't follow directions when she bakes all the time. And she took a risk, and sometimes it works out. Sometimes it doesn't work out. But what does work out is that we grow. Horrible feedback. Cut that off. Taking risks allows us to grow in areas and grow us in places and grow us in ways that we did not, that we would never know to grow before. So that was lesson number 1. Guys, talk to me about that. Hey, what's going on? Geo Big Daddy on Instagram. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for checking into the video. Take risk, everybody. Listen, this whole video with the Ralph Grace Jr. Show is about growing. It's about stretching. And so I'm trying to talk about just a few of the things my father taught me. And this helps in my healing process. If you had not tuned in, my father went home to be with the Lord on Tuesday. I had the awesome pleasure of being in the room with him when he transitioned to glory. But we're a very close-knit family, and I think in order to heal, we got to talk about some things. Thank you for saying that, Angela Andrews, that Pastor Graves Sr. will always hold a special place in your heart. Thank you for saying that. You know how much he loves you. So point number 1, one of the things he taught us was take risk. What do you guys think about taking risks? You know, what say you, Instagram Live? What say you, Facebook Live, Instagram? I promise you, in the weeks to come, I will give you a better view. The view that you have right now is horrible. Got a green screen behind me, the whole mess. But just bear with me. I'm taking a risk. But listen, one day, I'm gonna be set up in a whole studio, and everything will be real pretty and real nice. I'm working towards that. We're claiming that right now. But take risks. What do you guys think about taking risk?
Well, I guess I'm taking a risk. Like every time you tell me that, like my computers giving you feedback. Like I don't know what that is, but if I take my microphone off and talk, I risk you hearing whatever noise that you hear because I don't hear that noise. So do you hear it now? I don't hear it.
I don't know.
So
But what about some other risk in other areas? I know a big risk that you took, and
I'm about to take a risk.
What's that?
I'm about to get married.
Okay.
Is that a risk?
Nah, if you marry the right person. I don't think it is. I don't think it is. What about you, Kaya? Talk to me about some risks that you've taken.
Goodness.
And how do you feel about taking risks? Are you afraid to?
Not necessarily. I guess there's a little fear in it, depending on what it is. Like, let's say taking a risk for a new job, or agreeing to do something that you really don't fully know how to do yet, but you're just going to kind of
like this program, like we did the radio show, like
like stuff like that.
What we're doing, right.
I feel like risks are good, though. I feel like you have to take risks sometimes in order to progress, or just to find out if you can do something that you're not normally used to doing.
Yeah. Take risks, Guys, don't be afraid to take it. What say you, Instagram or Facebook Live? This is one of the lessons that my dad taught me. Yes, my heart is broken. My heart is hurting, but I'm gonna tell you what my father always told me. He said, don't you come off the wall. Don't you stop getting at it. You keep being who God called you to become. I could fold. I could fold it all up and stay in a pity party. But I had a father who prepared us. My dad was 84 years old, guys, 84 years old. I had him for 52 years. My brother had him for 49 years, and it was a beautiful thing to have a father, and my mother's still alive that long. But he taught us to take risks. He taught us to keep going. I woke up this morning. Can I share this with you guys? What's up, Felicia, Jersey Girl on Instagram? I woke up this morning. This is part of it. And the first thing I used to do, I used to wake up in the morning. I would call my mom and I'll say how Dad's doing. Why did I wake up this morning, grab my phone, and attempted to, I almost called my mom to ask how Dad was doing, and I hear him saying, great. I mean, I tell you, no matter, and my brother can testify to this, in a wheelchair, no matter what state he was in, body declining, Dad, how you doing? Ralph, I'm great. Never complained, kept going. I'm great, So anyway, he taught us to take risks. Jersey Girl Felicia, Jersey Girl, who's on Instagram Live, she says, risks are frightening, but the rewards are worth every minute. I agree. When it comes to taking risks, that's point number one. Risks are frightening, but the rewards are worth every minute. Guys, on this journey, especially if you're a solopreneur, entrepreneur, even if you're working for somebody, even there's a calling on your life, whatever the case may be, you're going to have to take risks. And it may not work out the way you want it to work out all the time. Will you get knocked down? Yes, you're going to get knocked down. Will you have setbacks? Sure, you're going to have setbacks. Joe Battle, you're going to have setbacks, right? But the key is when you get knocked down, when you have setbacks, you get up. You might have to change the method, but you never change the goal. How many stories have you guys heard of people that have really elevated and done some great things where they talk about sleeping in their car? They talk about being homeless. They talk about foreclosures. They talk about repossession. They talk about losing friends. They talk about their credit getting jacked up. They talk about all these things that happen along the journey of to where God has ultimately called them to be. It's going to be challenges. Hey, good morning, Miss Just Living on Instagram. Thank you for checking out. Good morning. So there's going to be setbacks along the way, but you have to take risks. Got to keep pressing. Got to keep pushing. You just never throw in the towel. That's my dad taught Todd and I that. You don't quit. He used to say he was I don't know. He's old school and he was a big boxing fan. He said he had the Archie Moore type fortitude. If you remember Archie Moore, heavyweight champion, Archie Moore in one fight got knocked down 8 times. That's before they stopped fights. They went like 15 rounds. But he got up. And when he got up the 8th time, he ended up winning the fight. So no matter how many times he got knocked down, he kept getting up. And that's the kind of intestinal fortitude you're going to have. Hey, what's going on, Muhammad? That's the kind of intestinal fortitude that you're going to have when it comes to taking risks. So that's point number one.
I just thought of something too.
What's that?
I think risks are like a coin. Like anything has a risk. It has a risk if you go forward, and then there's a risk if you decide to like stay put. So it's like you have to take the risk, like the one that puts you forward. Like take that risk and don't let the risk of not doing anything overtake you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You're right. Just Living says, Miss Just Living on Instagram Live. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for taking the time to watch this program. She says, I truly believe risks are needed in order to progress. Same thing Janae just said. Thank you, Miss Just Living, for checking in. Again, all you guys who are sending out your condolences, Kirsten Wynn, thank you for saying that. Thank you for praying for my family. Felicia Watson, thank you for saying that. Albert Porter, always good to have you check in, man. Thanks for checking in with your comments, man. Thank you for that. All right. Also, too, hey, let's not forget. Part of the show is we have a segment called This Week I Tried. Anybody try anything new? Something over the week that you tried that was new. This is a very important part of this program because we're trying to get you to try new things. Last week, he's not on here today. Last week, my brother Greg Caven was trying his best to get me to try avocados. I don't like them. I don't try them. You better try anything new? Kaya, would you try anything new this weekend? Or this past week, try anything new?
I'm trying to think. That was a little while ago.
Well, while you think about that, what about you, Nate? You try anything new?
Ooh.
No? Okay.
I don't think I did. Oh. I cleaned my room recently. I cleaned my bedroom and my closet. And I actually tried this week to keep it clean. Like usually I'll clean my room and it'll be great during the day until I have to take off the clothes that I'm wearing and then everything just goes on the floor. But this week I tried to put everything away as I took it off. Like, okay, is this dirty? No. Okay, then put it back. Is this dirty? No. Okay, great.
How's that working out for you?
Start a kind of small pile on the side. It's working out pretty all right. I just got to make my bed and then I'll be like on it. So maybe I'll try that this week.
All right. Very good. Very good. Yeah. We got to continue to try something new. I can't remember. I guess you guys know what I'm going through right now. I don't even really know what today is. Do we have a president yet? Does anybody know? Is there a president of the United States? Are we staying status quo? Is there a new one? I don't know. I don't know. So we're talking about 5 things that my father taught me. Again, Instagram Live, if you're checking in. Hey, Kiki2219. I apologize for the green screen background, but we'll get you guys rocking and rolling after a while. I lost my dad this week, and so we're talking about 5 things that he taught us. Felicia says, I'm in college and Spanish has been a challenge. She said, I tried to memorize and recite my assignment on video without stopping. How did that work out for you, Jersey girl? How'd that work out for you? I hope that worked out for her good. She took a risk. She's trying to learn Spanish without a certain way. I wish I would have learned a second language. I mean, I know Spanglish. That counts, and some of y'all know exactly what that is. But I don't know Spanish or French. I took classes, but I really didn't. I really didn't pay attention to it. She said she was almost completely successful. Good for you, Felicia. Greg Caven does check in. He says he's on here. Okay, point number 2. Thanks, Greg, for watching Facebook Live, man. I appreciate you. I love you, man. Point number 2 that my pop taught us, and then we're going to go to a commercial break. And I hope this helps somebody. Pop taught us to blaze our own trails, to blaze your own trail. That's what he taught us, to blaze our own trail. Eric Robertson, thanks for checking in, man. I apologize for the green screen behind, like I apologize everybody on Instagram, but we'll get you rocking and rolling. But Facebook Live, Instagram, we're here. The second thing Pop told me and taught me was to blaze your own trail. You have to be a trailblazer. It's don't be afraid to venture out on your own. That's what he taught me. Don't be afraid to venture out in this pursuit, solopreneur, entrepreneur, whatever, this pursuit of success. And I know I'm talking to trailblazers. Pathfinders and trailblazers are something different. Pathfinders kind of find a path that was already made. Trailblazers blaze their own trail. Will people agree with you all the time? No. That's why we talk about taking risks. Even well-meaning people might not agree with you as you blaze your own trail. But Pop said, and he taught us, if you know God has placed that in your life, if you know that's a burning desire, don't let anybody take that from you. And as you're growing and as you're getting to know who you are, don't be afraid to blaze your own trail. I have some notes here. When you blaze your own trail, you'll discover some things by accident that you would have never discovered if you had not blazed your own trail. Just because someone has done it that way for years, may be successful for them, it doesn't mean that you got to continue to do it the same way for those same years. So don't be afraid to blaze your own trail. Don't be afraid to be a trailblazer. That goes back to one of our previous shows that it kind of talked about going with your gut. God gave you a gut instinct. Sometimes, and how many of us can testify that, man, when I've gone with my gut was right. My gut was right. So if your gut is telling you to blaze your own trail, listen, you guys have books inside you that have not been written. See my book, Unstoppable. It's on what side of my point? I don't know. I don't know how to do this camera thing. It's on one of these sides. There it is. So I don't know. My Unstoppable's up there. Blaze your own trail. You have books inside. You have music that you haven't written. You have hits. You have art that you've never drawn. You have business ideas. This whole culture is waiting for you to blaze your trail and make a contribution in the way that you've been called to contribute so that we can live in the better world. That's what it's about. Don't be afraid to blaze your own trail. Don't be afraid to go after it and get after it. And listen, when your prayer life is right, God will surround you around people that'll help you get through that. And don't be afraid to be misunderstood. Don't be afraid to be talked about. Don't be afraid to, when you're blazing your own trail, that's why it's called blazing your own trail. You will have to walk alone sometimes. You will have to walk alone sometimes. So I hope just a few of these words that my father gave me before he passed and gave my brother Todd, who's listening, I hope these are helping you. That's point number 2. Now, what I'm going to do right now, on Facebook Live, we're going to take a commercial break. On Instagram Live, I'm going to stay with you for a minute, and we'll talk about stuff, but we'll be right back after these messages. You're watching the Ralph Graves Jr. Show here on Facebook Live, Instagram Live, YouTube Live, and wherever it's posted, but you guys are my audience, and I love you. Praise God for you. We'll be right back after these ads. Hey everybody, my name is Ralph Graves Jr. I'm the host of the Ralph Graves Jr. Show, and I want to invite you to pick up my book, Unstoppable. I wrote a book called Unstoppable. It's 7 universal laws that will transform how you pursue and achieve success. The one thing that my 20 years of law enforcement has taught me is that no matter who you are, we are all governed by universal laws, like gravity. But in this book, we're going to talk about laws like the law of forgiveness, laws like the law of control, the law of intelligent practice, the law of expectancy. I was able to see how those, no matter what their background was, those who identified and treated these laws with respect, they were able to go on and lead successful lives. So pick up this book, and you can go ahead and pick it up at Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, RalphGravesJr.com, where anywhere where fine books are sold. Thank you.
Revive Hydration is a proud sponsor of the Ralph Graves Morning Show. Revive Hydration is the first IV hydration and vitamin infusion service in the South Jersey area. For more details, please visit their website at www.revivehydration.com, or you can give them a call at 856-485-0070. Again, their website, www.revivehydration.com, or give them a call at 856-485-0070.
Do you believe in your singing abilities? The I Believe Project is giving a chance for 5 singers to record an album in a professional studio for free. Be sure to submit your video. Friends and fans, along with celebrity judges, get to help choose the winners, calling all singers and critics. And friends and fans, get ready to help vote for your favorites. Visit IBelieveProject.live for more details and your chance to win.
Hey everybody, my name is Ralph Graves Jr. I am the author of this book called Unstoppable. Now, what Unstoppable is about is it's 7 universal laws that will transform how you pursue and achieve success. Why don't you pick up your copy today? Go to my website, www.ralphgravesjr.com. Go to Amazon. This book is sold wherever fine books are sold, anywhere in the country. My name is Ralph Graves. Let's be unstoppable together. Week, y'all. It's tough. Welcome back. Welcome back. Facebook Live, Instagram Live. We're back. I was having a chat with the Instagrammers. I'm sorry, Facebook Live, but I had a chat with them. If you guys saw those ads, right? You saw those ads. They're global. They'll be posted everywhere. If you want to take out an ad on the Ralph Graves Jr. show that will last for eternity, please hit up my assistant, Kyer Burt, at k.burt.c3e@gmail.com. Did I say it right, Kyer, today? k.burt.c3e@gmail.com. And she will teach you how to get that done. So we're talking about 5 things my pop taught me. We talked about taking risks. We talked about blazing your own trail. We also have a topic out there if you guys want to check in. Smooth the Barber. What's up, Mike? Good to see you. If you guys want to check in and talk about 5 things, or I'm sorry, 1 thing that you tried new. We're talking about, hey, this week I tried. Janae, do me a favor. So you guys are getting all this backroom stuff. Your sister keeps calling me. Can you please text her and tell her we're on the air and tell her to?
Yeah, I did. She was like, "Oh, I forgot. Sorry."
Ain't that cold-blooded? Your own daughter.
Yeah, she called me too. So.
Your own daughter forgets. Now, out of the 5 viewers on Instagram and out of the 3 viewers on Facebook Live, so everything has small beginnings, right? My own daughter forgets. My eldest child forgets that I'm here. But God bless her. She got a lot going on. Hey, Jazz. All right. We're talking about 5 things Father taught me.
We have a question of the day as well.
Oh, please share the question of the day.
So the question of the day is, what percentage of your life do you feel truly alive?
Wow. Yes, that's the question of the day. What percentage of your life do you feel truly alive? Last week when I was in the hospital, my dad was in the hospital, I was talking to him, and he asked me this, and I'm sharing with you all these bits and pieces because I'm talking about my father helps heal me. And so bear with me. And he said, Ralph, what year is it? And I said, it's 2020. Now he's in the hospital. We pretty much know, this will forever change us. I said, Dad, it's 2020. He says 1936 to 2020. And I know what he meant, but I said, Dad, what are you talking about? And he wouldn't say anything. So, and then he eventually said, man, he said, life is short. He said, man, time flies by. It goes by. And so I thank God for this question of the day is, what percentage of your life do you feel truly alive? Knowing how fast life goes, to my 4 viewers on Instagram Live, to now my 2 viewers on Facebook, man, I am dropping viewers like you wouldn't believe. What percentage of your life do you feel truly alive? Just Living says she shared that it's tough. She had to bury her mother and father. And she said, thank you for saying that. My father was a great man of God. And he officiated both of her parents' homegoing services. Thank you for saying that, Miss Just Living. Thank you. You didn't have to say that, but you did. And I thank you for saying that. The question out here today is, what percentage of your life do you feel truly alive? Mike, Smooth the Barber, my young man, Mike, love this young guy. And thank you for saying what you said. Proud of me and keeping it unstoppable. Eric Roberson, thanks for saying that, bro. He said, yeah, they left because everybody left because they wanted to get their daughters to join. Okay. Thanks, man, for saying that. Eric, my man, say this, man, answer this question for me, man. You are a man of great influence. All people got to do is Google you to kind of know who you are. What percentage of your life, Eric, do you feel truly alive? What percentage of your life do you feel truly alive? Anybody care to answer that question? What percentage? Hey, my daughter joined. Look at that. She joined me on Instagram Live. Thank you for joining the program, darling. Now you don't have to call me. I'll call you as soon as I get off the air. What percentage of your life do you feel truly alive? Anybody care to share? I feel truly alive, because I think there's always room for improvement. I could say 100%, but if I'm leaving room for improvement, I think what percentage of my life? See, I have Christ in my life, so I feel alive. I'm a born-again Christian. John 3:16, God, for God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believes in him should not perish but have everlasting life. I also know that since I've become a believer, old things are passed away and all things that have become new, that I've put on this new life of Christ. So 100% I feel alive, but I don't want to say but because that just negates everything I just said. 100% I feel alive. I know I got work to do. Right? Jersey Girl says this. Felicia checks in. I think that we feel alive in the various chapters. We just gradually understand as we mature. Wonderful answer. I agree with that. My mom joined. Mom, thank you for joining the program. Hey, y'all, my mom's here. My dad was her husband of 54 years. Eric Roberson says this. Eric says this right after my mom. He says, I think 80% because there's further joy. There's further joy that's there that he doesn't fully understand just yet. Man, you guys are brilliant. I love this platform. I got some smart friends, some smart influencers on here. Man. Thank you for saying that, Eric and Erica and Felicia and Eric. Thank you for saying that. This is 80% of the time because there's joy there that hasn't been fully understood. And I think and hopping along with what Felicia said, I think as we mature, we kind of discover that joy. Now, joy and happiness are two different things. We know that joy and happiness are two different things, and we kind of experience that and begin to understand ourselves. So the question is, what percentage of your life do you feel truly alive? I agree with all these answers so far. My mother's joined everybody. Please, please, please say a prayer for her. My dad was married to her for 54 years. She married my father when she was 19 years old. 19. I ain't gonna tell you how old my dad was, but he was significantly older than my mom. Now, he was 29 when they got married, 29 and 19. Now, I'll be honest with you, my grandfather was a nice guy. Maybe he just wanted to marry my mom off. But if my daughter was 19, and some 29-year-old joker came sniffing around for my daughter, we had some problems. But nevertheless, they were married at 29 and 19. And from their union to just 2 years later, had a beautiful baby boy. And you're looking at it. I tease my brother all the time. I said, yeah, I am... I'm my mother's beloved son and your mom's favorite son. So there you go. Right down the middle. Right down the middle. But Mom, thank you, Mom. Love you. Thank you for being an example to what Father has taught Todd and I. The question of the day is, what percentage of your life do you feel truly alive? You guys are answering great. Let me scroll up on Instagram Live. There's some Instagram Live. I'm knocking you all over the place. Jersey Girl says, as we get older with more years behind us than in front of us, we appreciate it more. Amen to that. Smooth the Barber says this. He said he's going to say 85% alive because those bad days when he doesn't feel alive, but there's a scripture for everything he goes through. So 85%. Because he just learned to live life to the fullest. Here's the thing, guys. There is a scripture for everything we go through. You guys know I'm a Christian. I'm a Bible-toting, Bible-believing pastor. Let me tell you something. I don't care who you are. Don't fight this. There is a higher power. Now, I don't know what you believe in. You don't have to believe You don't have to believe that there is God. You should. You don't have to believe in Jesus Christ. But you best believe you're not the center of the universe. You best believe you ain't the center of it. All right. There is a God who is the center of the universe. I checked the center of the universe this morning and none of you were there. There's a God that is the center of the universe. And I have a relationship with him through his son, Jesus Christ. And I invite you to have a relationship with him as well. T. Jefferson says this. Tahir Jefferson, good friend of mine, said, we are praying for us. Thank you for saying that. Todd's not older than me. Todd's younger than me. Did I say he was older? Tahir, you ought to know that. We grew up together. You know how old Todd is, right? He's younger than me. My mom's sister kind of checked in on the comment I made about my parents. He's on Instagram Live. She said her dad couldn't say anything, my grandfather, because he was 11 years older than my grandma. So I guess that's how they did it back then. Talking about 5 things my dad taught me. Number three. We got 2 things down. Take risks, blaze my own trail. Number 3 is just because someone might have more power than you does not mean that they have power over you. Point number 3, write this down. My dad taught us thousands of lessons. One of the lessons he taught us was just because someone has more power than you does not mean that they have power over you. Now, what did he mean by that? Well, that kind of falls right in line with, he kind of taught me about my attitude. I am 100%. You have 100% dominion over your attitude. Kind of what I'm writing my next book on, right? Don't allow anybody to make you feel small. They don't have the power over you. Don't make anyone make you feel small. Don't kind of live your life bearing, or don't live your day because somebody treated you foul. You've given them power over you when you do that. Your attitude affects everything. I cannot control what has happened to me. I cannot control that on November the 3rd, right around midnight, just past midnight, my father, earthly father, was called home to be with my heavenly father. I cannot control that. But what my heavenly father has allowed me to control is my attitude toward that. You have 100% dominion over your attitude, over everything that happens in your life. Hey, some of us are broke because we have bad attitude toward money. Some of us relationships don't work because we have a bad attitude toward our relationships. Some of us don't have the relationship with God because of our attitude toward submitting to a higher authority. So our attitude really determines our altitude. Our attitude determines our altitude. My good friend Eric Roberson is on here, and he writes some of the most lovely poetry that you hear in song. But if he had a jacked up attitude toward his songwriting capability, then the world would not be hearing what God has placed on his heart. And that's all of you. That's all you guys. All you guys. Felicia, who checked in. She has the right attitude when it comes to her studies and her working and her growing. You have to, even as we grow older, even as we mature, I don't say grow older, even as we mature, it's the right attitude. My dad told me this: just because someone has more power, might be government, might be whatever it is, doesn't mean that they have power over you. Doesn't mean they have power over you just because they have some more power. Tahir Jefferson says this: there's a saying that youth is wasted on the young, youth is wasted on the youth, and it's true. She said if she could have some of the same vibrancy she had back in the day, it would be a game changer. Well, Tahir, you can. Go ahead and get that vibrancy. Go ahead. I know you used to play ball. You was all. Go ahead and get that back. You can. It is. Listen, and let me encourage somebody. My father was an influencer until November the 3rd, just around midnight. He influenced lives until the moment that Christ called him home. You might be saying, well, how could you say that? Well, I'm going to tell you how I could say it. My dad showed us how to suffer without complaint. That's influence. My dad showed me how to suffer without complaint. Todd, you're watching. Mom, you're watching. You're listening. How many times if I ask Dad, how you doing? And he says, from a wheelchair, after dialysis, needles poked all in him, can't move. Mom has to feed him. Dad, how are you doing? Parkinson's overtaking his body. Dad, how you doing? He says, son, I'm great. I'm great. I can't control this, but I can control my attitude. I'm great. This doesn't have power over me. My Parkinson's disease doesn't have power over me. My kidney failure, my renal don't have power over me. My dementia that's setting in doesn't have power over me. Son, I'm great. I'm great. Man, he was an influencer until the moment that Christ took him home. See, that's the kind of memories I have of my father. That's why, yes, I have my moments and I weep and I'm not gonna tell you I don't, but he showed me too much. Showed me how to live. Showed me how to make it through the tough times. There is nothing, and let me tell this to my fathers that are watching and listening on this. I only got 4 people on Facebook live, but it'll be reposted. There is nothing. I shared this with my brother-in-law shared this with me, and we thought about it. There is nothing. Eric, you listening? Greg Caven, you listening? All the guys I know, Mike, you listening? I don't know if you have sons or not. There is nothing like the bond. When a father does it right, there is nothing like the bond between a father and a son. Strong bond, mom, son, father, daughter. But there is something. My dad could look at me, and I know my brother feels the same way. I walk into the room. He was tired. Didn't talk all the time. Lift up his eyes and look at me and read me like a book. I swear he knew my thoughts. I swear he knew things about me unsaid that no one else knew. But there's a bond there. So he taught us so many things. So that's why, when Pop, and thank you for letting me talk about this, y'all. I'm healing while I'm talking about it. That's why it was well with our soul. That's why we were at peace with it, because there wasn't anything left unsaid. There wasn't, Daddy, just forgive me. There wasn't nothing like that. There wasn't a time when he wasn't there. He was always there. We have said everything. We have loved on one another. We received every lesson. I'm still learning lessons from him. If you don't know where your sons are, find them. If you have to apologize to your children, parents, find them, swallow your pride, and apologize to them. I don't care if you agree with their lifestyles or not. That's their lifestyle. You, especially if you claim to be a believer, let them see the love of Christ in you, so that when you keep praying for them, you might be dead and gone. You keep praying for them, but they'll be able to lift it up and say, you know what? I was living wrong. I was doing wrong, doing crazy stuff. But my mother and my father showed me what real love is. What real love is. So go find them while you got the time. I'm telling you, life is short. Life is short. All right, Janae, where we at? Number 4. Turn on your mic, love. Number 4.
I have a comment.
Okay, go on with your comment.
About point number 3. I just noticed, like, I was listening to the radio today on the way into work, and
Sure.
like, people want to give their power up, like they want to give it away. It's like how like a situation like makes you feel, or a situation that you can't control, and then how you react to it. Like, people want to be like consumed by their thing, so that they have a reason to shut down.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, it's like, no, I want to feel what I'm feeling. And it's like, okay, you can feel what you're feeling, but you're supposed to keep moving. Like,
wow.
The power over you is when you stop and just sit there. Like, feel what you're feeling, but keep moving forward.
Yeah. Can I comment?
Huh?
That was my daughter. She said that she feels like, if you didn't hear her, I'm just going to repeat. I'm sure you did. She feels like people today are looking for a reason to give their power away, looking for a reason to shut down, looking for a reason to lay in bed all day, looking for a reason to be quarantined for 14 days, looking for a reason
under the guise of self-care. You know what I mean? Like, under the umbrella of self-care, I'm going to shut down until I can handle this thing. It's like, you're not going to be able to handle it because it has more power than you, but you have the power over yourself.
Yes. Thank you. Brilliant answer. Stop looking for reasons to shut down. Until I, what Janae just said, until I get over this thing. You might not get over it. It's more powerful than you, but it doesn't have power over you. Stop looking for a reason to get high. Stop looking for a reason to quit. Stop looking for a reason to drink. Stop looking for a reason to cry. All right? It doesn't have power over you. Adjust your attitude toward it. Things are going to happen to us.
Yeah.
Things are going. I read something yesterday, and you guys will get a kick out of this. Mom, you might. Eric, you probably will. To hear it. Felicia, all you guys watching. Greg, Kevin. I said to my son, I said, there's no such thing as good or bad. It's not good or bad. It just is. It just is. And I had to think about that. And I don't know if I agree with that or not, but I can't really find a strong argument against it. Things are neither good or bad. Things just are. And I get a chance to determine how I face it, how I handle it. Now, did I live a life that caused this consequence in my life? Now, if I did, I have to accept responsibility for that. Am I dealing with am I dealing with the results of a bad habit? Am I dealing with the results of being abusive? Am I dealing with the results of abusing my body? Listen, y'all, you can't drink for 30 years and then tell everybody that the Lord allowed you to catch liver disease. No. Stop blaming my God for your liver disease, okay? You start saying, hey, I learned some lessons from the stuff on my own. But, so do you guys agree with this? I mean, it's neither good or bad. It just is. And now I have the power. It doesn't have the power over me. I have the power to decide how I respond. What you guys say? What do you say about that? Because Pop told me nobody has the power over you. Even though they might have more power, they don't have the power over you. What do you guys think about that? I agree with what my daughter said. Now, what she hit the nail on the head. Stop looking for a reason to bow down and give up your power. Do not give up your power. Pastor Graves, what is that power? That power is my attitude on how I'm responding to what's happening. To what's happening. My mom.
And you also don't have to tell everybody everything.
Say that again. Say it again. She said, you ain't got to tell everybody everything.
Like,
say it again.
You can go through some stuff alone. Like, it's okay.
Yo, let me tell you this from a biblical standpoint. Let me tell you this. I preached about it last Sunday. C3ecornerstone.net. Catch me every Sunday morning. Talked about Jesus at the Garden of Gethsemane. He goes there with his 3 friends, right? He tells his 3 disciples, the inner circle, I need y'all to stay over here and pray, right? He didn't tell Jesus. Jesus didn't tell them what he was praying about. He just said, pray for me, lest you be tempted. And so you can ask people to pray for you without telling them. Now, remember, you got to have some close friends that know the words of prayer. Y'all pray for me. I ain't got to tell you my business. Y'all pray for me. What happens when you tell people your business? They don't pray for you. They just tell other people what you told them. So you don't have to. You do not have to tell everybody what's going on. We said being a trailblazer is part of walking this journey alone. Walking this journey alone. It's part of it. It's not just about good or bad. It's about how you respond to it. How do you respond to an injury? How do you respond to a setback? How do you respond to some challenges that there's some challenges that are out of your control that God lays in your lap? Some parents, we have challenges with children. How do you respond to that? Hey, my wife is joining the broadcast on Instagram Live. Good morning. Always love to see family in. Good morning. All right. So that was point number 3. All right. Point number 4. I'm trying to get all the way to point number 5. If I'm preaching on here, I'm preaching on here. I would say forgive me, but I'm a preacher. You tuned on here because I preach sometimes. All right. The greatest gift, Pop taught me this, taught Todd this, see it in my mom and my dad all the time, is the greatest gift you can give somebody is your time. I had a friend come over last night, good friend of mine. I don't know if he's watching the broadcast or not. He knew how close I was to my pop. And And I love all the prayers, all this stuff's great. You know, and I had to say, this man gave up time. He married, got kids all night. This man gave up his time. Sat in my kitchen, came to where you live. I'm coming. Never been to my place day in his life. I said, I mean, got to know I'm coming. Came there, sat in my kitchen with me. Honey, how long? My wife's on the line, on here somewhere. He must have sat in my kitchen with me for 2.5 hours. Now, when you're mourning, like I'm mourning, I probably told him the story. I don't even know how many times I told him the story of my experience and our experience as a family, as my father's transition, how I was there, with scripture I was reading. It was just he and I. I probably said it 4 or 5 times, but, you know, I guess he realized I'm mourning. And he just let me tell the story 100 times. But I realized the greatest gift that he gave me was his time. The greatest gift you can give somebody is time, because time is precious. Can't get time back. I can't get this hour back I'm spending with you guys, but I like spending with you guys. I like spending this hour with you once a week. But the greatest gift you can give somebody is time. Is time. You know, and when you're talking to someone and when you give them the time, you got grandkids, you got kids, my dad used to be totally engrossed in the conversation. At least he appeared to be. I would come to his house and my mom, being intuitive, because mothers probably knew something was on my mind. I remember mom telling my dad, he came over here to talk to you. And then once he realized that, he'd shut down everything. And he gave me focused time. Now, most of the things I talked to my dad, I talked about everything, but especially when I got into this pastoring thing, I didn't know what I was doing. We're talking about taking risks. I didn't know what I was doing. Thank God I've known him 15 years, but I had to go talk to him, Dad, you know, I feel like quitting. I don't think I'm good enough. I don't know. I you know, are people, I'm preaching the word, are people getting, you know, say, am I doing what God called me to do? You know, I would go to prayer meeting, right? When we first started Cornerstone, and I would travel 45 minutes. Let me tell you this story. And my son would be with me. Greg Caven, you're on here if you're watching. You remember them days. Travel 45 minutes from where I lived at the time, to Millville. I come to Bible study to hear, ready to teach Bible study. I get to Bible study, ain't nobody there. Me and the chairs. I mean, one time my young son, he was young at the time, he would get mad, he get pissed off. And why are you coming out? But I would teach the chairs. And I would talk to my dad about that. He said, man, listen, God is trying to prove your faithfulness. God needs to see that you'll be faithful. If you're faithful into teaching the chairs, or one person, or the 5 people that are on Facebook Live, the 11 people that are on Instagram Live, you be faithful to that. Be faithful to that. God will give the increase. And if I didn't have a father to tell me that, I probably would have quit. I would preach my heart out to 10 people on Sunday evening at 6 o'clock. I preached to 10 people. Now, mind you, 4 live with me. I preached my heart out like I was preaching to 400 people. I still do. 4,000 people. I preached my heart out. My dad taught me, you have to give God your best. You ain't preaching to you have an audience of 1. You ain't preaching to just some people there. Give God 100% of who you are. So I thank God for the time that my father paused to give me. Give your friends and family some of your time. And when you're there, be present. Be present. Even if they're telling you some stuff you don't agree with, be present. Be loving. I'm learning empathy. I'm seeking to understand before I'm understood. And listen, y'all, if you have known me throughout my life, you know that is a challenge. You know, police officer, sergeant in the police department, you know, military, you do what you're told when you're told to do it. And so, but the greatest gift you give people is your time. And Joe Battle says he loves number 4. You know, don't let people rob your time. Let them steal your time. But when you know that someone is looking to you for advice, or needs you, or not taking advantage of you, or just needs an ear, be present. I know in this hustle and bustle, and your efforts of being a solopreneur, entrepreneur, hustling, doing your videos, doing your tweets, doing all your Instagrams, me, writing sermons and all of that. I only got 24 hours in a day. Yeah, that's true. But sometimes the people that love you the most, the people that you love the most, they just want some time. Take a walk. Give him a call. My boy came over last night, and he's not one of these guys that he's not a high maintenance relationship. Y'all know what a high maintenance relationship is. I got to call you all the time. You got to call me all the time. We're not cut like that. Most of me and my friends aren't. It's just that when we see each other, it's a quality, it's a low maintenance relationship, but we know how to be there for one another. And this man and a couple of my boys did it. I'm sitting around with my dad on, what day was it, Mom? Saturday or Sunday, sitting around with my dad, and my two childhood friends show up, and I'm sitting in the room with my father, and they just show up. One sits on the floor, one sits in the chair, just giving me their time. They didn't say anything. Didn't have to offer me any scripture. I know all the scriptures. I know them. Live by them. Sometimes it's just your presence and just your time. So that's what Pop taught us. The greatest gift you can give is your time. I got 6 minutes left, y'all. I'm running out of time. I got one more. I got one more thing. Courtney Lynn, my god sister, checks in and says shutting down is more comfortable for people. She's responding to you, Janae. A little slow on the Instagram comments. She says shutting down is more comfortable to people. Rather than the choice to do something different. Choice to do something different is powerful. Felicia, she checks in and she says people like to numb themselves versus dealing with their issues. Eric Robertson agrees with that. He also says perception is everything. Say it again, Miss Just Living says yes. Courtney says perspective is the key. If you're always looking for growth, you have to view those rough times. If you will view those rough times different than other times. And that's right. It's perspective. Are you always looking to grow? And I believe people watching this program, thank you, God says, I think people watching this program, Instagram Live, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, I think this is about growth. And so we have to train ourselves to always look for growth opportunities. Growth opportunities. We have to look at that. Eric Robertson says somebody else was preaching on here too. Come on, daughter. He said, "Come on, Janae." He said you was preaching on here too. Yes, she was. Yeah, let me tell you about Janae, guys. Right? I can go. Janae put around and put on my robe. Right? I haven't worn a robe in 15 years, but it's hanging in my closet here at church. Right, Eric? She puts on my robe. I said, "Don't you do that? Don't you put on that robe?" She put on that robe. I said, "It's too late. It's got you." So yeah, if she starts preaching because she was fooling around, putting on my robe, dressing up. Kyrie, when are you gonna come put on the robe?
I'm sorry, my computer's going in and out. You say it again.
I said, when are you gonna come put on that anointed robe I have back there that Janae put on?
Like that.
My daughter Jasmine checked in. She said, "Sure don't." Thank you for that, Jazz. Self-care. Jersey Girl talks about self-care, self-reflection. It's always good. It's isolation that leads to depression. That becomes a problem. That's why we need to talk about what we go through. Listen, guys, there's always opportunity in the obstacle. There's always opportunity in the obstacle, right? Don't shut down. Last thing Pop told me, then we get off of here because I still got to preach on Sunday because he would want me to. Keep preaching, keep moving, keep preaching the gospel, keep teaching. You keep doing it. And I'll tell you about his home government services before we leave. All right, number 5. This is who my father was. Cultivate a relationship with Jesus Christ. Cultivate a relationship with him. All right, I'm not telling you to cultivate a relationship with Christians. Don't cultivate a relationship with Christians until you cultivate a relationship with Jesus Christ. Fool around with Christians. But cultivate a relationship with Christ Jesus. For God so loved the world, y'all, that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever, I'm so glad that word is in there. Whosoever, that's me. It's me. Whosoever believeth in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. Whosoever. Doesn't matter if you got tattoos. Don't matter your living conditions. It don't matter your sexual orientation, right? It don't matter who you voted for on Tuesday. It don't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter. Understand this. Everything is being written by one hand. And that one hand says, whosoever believeth in me shall not perish but have everlasting life. I'm telling you this. If you give your life to Christ, Christ don't care about your past. He don't care about your addictions. He don't care about your abortions. He don't care about he don't care about your felony records. He don't care about how many kids you got and about who you got them by. He says, you come to me just as you are. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. Now, here's the thing. When you come to Christ and you cultivate it, and you are serious about your walk with Christ, he does this thing. We call it a miracle. But it's just God being God. He does something. He removes anything out of your life that doesn't please him. He gives you a taste for things that please him. That's what he gives you. He gives you a taste for things that please him. So cultivate a relationship with Jesus Christ. Yes, Eric, I may write that book, 10 Things That My Dad Taught. There's 1,000. I may write that book. I may write that book next. Seth, I hope you're watching. Seth, we got work to do. I'm back at it this week. Guys, listen, just continue to pray for me and my family. Thanks for joining in. Instagram Live, you guys, thank you. I had 10 people on it. Facebook Live, listen, have 4 or 5 of y'all on there. And I know that it's not the normal day, but I just had to come on. Our normal days are Wednesdays, but we'll be back here next Friday because next Wednesday is a homegoing service for my father. Please keep us in prayer. Please keep us in prayer. All right. Hey, go to the church website, www.c3ecornerstone.net. You follow me at the church website. You go to my website, ralphgravesjr.com. You follow me on any platform, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, ralphgravesjr.com. I'd like to have someone. Hey, guys, I got a Spotify. Listen, and I got a Spotify channel for you. All right. You got to go on there. I got some phenomenal people on there. I'm going to be reposting and some things on there today with my Spotify. Go to my Spotify channel. These stories will bless your life and are all about growth, all about being unstoppable. If you have not gotten my book, Unstoppable, BarnesandNoble.com, RalphGravesJr.com. Go get it. Let it bless your life. Go get it. That's all I have. Thank you for allowing me to heal today. Thank you for allowing me to be, thank you for being part of my process of healing. Mom, I love you. Todd, I love you. Tina, my wife, I love you. Jazz, Janae, Ryan, all of you on here, Kyer, I love all of you. All of you guys that have checked in. Thank you for allowing me to heal today. We'll be back next Friday at 10 o'clock. Now, listen, go find a church home, develop a relationship with Jesus Christ. Check me out at Cornerstone Community Church in Millville, New Jersey. Go to their church website. Check out my emails. Let's talk. Let's get in contact. Let me put your story on Spotify. Let the world hear your story. My name is Ralph Graves Jr. You've been watching the Ralph Graves Jr. show, guys, and that's all I got. God bless you. Daddy, I love you. Daddy, I miss you, man. I do already. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you.